All right, I'm super excited. We're recording, what are we, second week of 2016, and we have just the most amazing speaker tonight, Becka Robinson. I love her. She's a 13-star Diamond Coach. Started coaching in August of 2013. Let me read all of her important, super exciting stuff. Number 35 in the organization. Has achieved Success Club 10. Well, she's an SC All-Star legend and has achieved Success Club 28 consecutive months. So pretty much, I don't believe she's missed it at all. So just goes to show you the importance of achieving Success Club. I'm pretty sure any coach that is 1 to 100 will say that they just don't miss it. She was able to retire from her career as a photographer, and she's amazing at it. To become a coach. So I'm super excited because Becca's going to share about branding, and really she is the first person that comes to mind when I think of this topic. She has set herself apart. If you go and follow her, if you are not, you need to go follow her. You'll see that she's just set herself apart. She's different. She's unique, the way she writes, her photos. So I'm super excited to hear her share. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in the chat. So Becca, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Thanks so much, friend, for sharing with us tonight.
Hi, can everybody hear me? Okay, so I am on single parent duty while my husband is out. So if my 3-year-old comes running through, well, he's 4 now. Oh my goodness, he just turned 4. So if he comes running through, apologies in advance if I have to wrangle. Thank you for having me. Sorry, it took me a minute longer. For some reason, I tried to get on and my whole computer froze and I had to literally force restart it. Isn't that Murphy's Law? Like when you're trying to get on a team call. So sorry about that, but I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for carving out a little bit of your time to hang out and chat. Like Jen said, I'm going to be talking a little bit about personal branding, which I know it's not like one of the normal coach topics, like, objections or how to hit Success Club. But I do think it's really important if you're in this for the long run, because eventually your warm market is going to run out and you need to be working on something that will help people that you don't already know be attracted to you. And personal branding is a great way of doing that. So if you guys are already using Facebook for your business, or maybe use Instagram or a blog or YouTube or whatever social media channel, this is something that you can utilize on those channels to help set you apart. I know that as coaches, sometimes we can feel like, why would anybody sign up with me because they already know 100 other coaches? Does anybody ever felt that way? And so this is the answer to that. This is why someone would sign up with you instead of signing up with me, or instead of signing up with Susie, her mutual Facebook friend. And it has to do with how you share yourself online. I heard a quote from one of my success partners, Meredith, and she said, people follow you or join you for one of 2 reasons: because they are like you and they feel a connection, or because they want to be like you. And that's what personal branding has to do with. It's putting yourself out there in a way so that people can make the decision based on those 2 things. Do they have something in common with you that you can relate with and they want to get to know you better? Or is what you're doing intriguing to them and they want to do something similar? And those are really the 2 things that we want to happen, whether we're looking for challengers or whether we're looking for coaches to join our team. So that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. I hope you guys don't mind going in a slightly different direction, but I think it's really important. So I'm going to share my screen. If you guys can give me a thumbs up when you see it, so I know that you guys can see my picture. There we go. All right. Okay, so I'm Becca. Nice to meet you guys. And today we're going to be talking about what I call personal branding. Now, this is very unscientific. I'm not a marketing major. This is all self-taught. Like Jen said, I retired from my previous career as a photographer, which I did for 8 years. Me and my husband ran a photography business. It was our sole income, so I have been self-employed for a while now. And I started that photography business in 2008. So I decided to launch a photography business right as the economy went into the worst recession we've had since the 20s and 30s. But I I think that one of the main reasons we were able to be successful is because we kind of got in right when Facebook pages were starting, right when blogs were taking off, and we figured out this whole personal branding thing, which is not necessarily a real term. It's just what I call the image that you're presenting to the world via these social media channels. So to break it down, to make sure we're all on the same page, what do I mean when I say personal branding? Well, to me, personal branding breaks into 3 questions. What are you about? What is your message? And how are you sharing it? So that is what we're going to be talking about today when I say personal branding. So I know Jen introduced me, but just in case you guys don't know, I'm Becka. I have been a person since the mid-'80s. I was a photographer since 2008. I've been a wife since 2010, a mom since 2012, and a coach since 2013. So, you know, from the 2008 on, it's been a busy run. I first put together this team call when I was a 2-star Diamond Coach, but I'm no longer a 2-star Diamond Coach. Now I'm a 13-star Diamond Coach. So that's kind of fun. It's changed. All of those things Jen said, Success Club every month since I started in August of 2013, and then Success Club 10 for the last 2 consecutive years. That was one of those goals that I have never just even considered as not being something that I was going to accomplish. I'm one of Lindsay Matway's personally sponsored coaches, and when I signed up, she said, what you need to do is hit Success Club. And so every single month since then, I've hit Success Club. And I fully believe that it is one of the key reasons why I've been able to build a business that supports our family and that has become something as good in our life as it is because Success Club is the momentum builder. It's the one thing that you can focus on that builds your business so that you're not feeling scatterbrained all over the place. Like Success Club isn't magic. It's not something that like Beachbody came up with just to get you to sell more challenge packs. The reason why it's here is because when you sign up as a new coach, you're pulled in so many different directions of learning, right? So you're like, oh my gosh, there's the coach online office training, and then there's the new coach basics or whatever your team and your coach call it. And then there's all these things that my coach wants me to do in these challenge groups. And I just got added into 10 Facebook groups and I don't know what I'm doing. And you get really overwhelmed. So Beachbody said, what is a term that we can give to them to talk about the behaviors that are really important for a new coach to do and have them focus on just one thing, but have that one thing ripple into their business and affect all the areas that they're wanting to affect. And so that's when they came up with Success Club. Because if you're adding 3 to 5 new people to your business every single month, it can't help but grow. Because if you do that and then you're a good coach and you help them to hit their goals, then they're going to be happy and they're going to tell other people about it, or they're going to want to join in with you and do the same thing for other people. It's like impossible not to succeed if you have that momentum going. And then they've done studies and stuff to see if there really is a difference. And I don't have the graphic pulled up, so I don't know the official stat, but there's a really crazy statistic. Maybe, Jen, I don't know if you have the graphic, or I can give it to you and you can put it up later, about the difference in income that coaches who consistently hit Success Club make versus coaches that don't. And it's staggering. Like when you look at it, at least when I looked at it, I was like, why would I not do that? Why would I not make that my number one goal? So that has been really huge for me. I'm good at anything visual, as you could guess, coming from a photography background, and I'm bad at anything math. So I don't know if you guys have done the personality gem test that says like what personality gem you are: pearl, ruby, sapphire, emerald. I am so ruby that it hurts, and I have like none of the other things. I have a bunch of emeralds on my team, and I drive them crazy with all my typos and all my disorganization and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, who cares? Just go do the goals, because I'm so ruby. But bad at anything math, anything that has to do with being organized or logically ordered. I'm really into mindfulness and intention. I'm an introvert, which I know you can't really tell these things online because it's online, but I'm really introverted. So I love having conversations with people, but I hate making small talk. And that's a little bit about me. So this picture on the right is my husband and my son. His name is Cadence. I'm really into yoga, so I tend to do headstands in strange locations and make my husband take pictures of them for Instagram. Okay, let's jump right in. Personal branding. Personal branding is telling your story without words. It's a visually cohesive picture of who you are. And the point of it is to connect the viewers that come across your page or your account to you. A way to know if someone has good personal branding is if you go to their page and after scrolling for a while, you go, we would totally be best friends in real life. Like, we should be best friends. That means that person has really great personal branding and you are that person's target market. So I went on Instagram and I picked a couple people that I thought had good personal branding. And before you think I'm crazy vain, I only included mine so that you'd be able to find it easily. But I wanted a different spectrum of people. So I included mine because I am really artistic and that's something that comes naturally to me, but I know that it's not something that comes naturally to everybody. And if you are not creatively inclined, I don't want you to shut down in the call and say, well, I'm not good at pictures, I'm not good at art, so I'm not going to be good at branding. That's not true. That's not true at all. Anybody can be good at this if you just pay attention to some little things along the way. So I included different spectrum. So I am good at it. And that's okay. Like, that's just one of my strengths. I have lots of weaknesses too. Janelle Summers is another coach who I'm sure you guys know, who on Instagram has a really great personal branding, but she is not an artist by any means. And her pictures are not necessarily like creative genius. They're very much what a normal kind of person and what a normal coach would post. But she does a really good job of being cohesive in it and telling a story about who she is. When you go to her page, you get an idea that she is into fitness, into health, that she likes working out, that she cares about that stuff, that she likes to eat clean. And it's very much that story. So don't freak out if you don't think that you're creative enough for this. Next is the Base Body Babes. And I included them because they're not Beachbody coaches, but I think it's really great to find inspiration from all over the place. I think it's even better to be inspired by people that are outside of Beachbody, because then you're not trying to duplicate something that somebody's already doing. You're getting this new inspiration, this fresh inspiration. These two girls would be incredible coaches if anybody lands them on their team. But they're just these two girls that are into fitness, and they post just the funnest, like fitness, healthy lifestyle stuff. It's always like them looking cute, them working out, all their fun outfits, workout outfits, different workout moves. And it's really great. And when you go to their page, I bet you that after a couple minutes looking, you'd be like, yeah, I kind of want to hang out with them. I think that would be really fun. Or you'd at least be like, I wish that, I had those outfits and I wish that I was that cute when I was working out, because that's what I think when I look at their page. But they have a really great personal brand. And it's doing that thing. It's cohesive, it's telling their story, and it's connecting you, making you think like, oh, I could really be best friends with that person. I could get along with them. Okay, so the first question that we have to ask with personal branding is, what are you about? If you don't know what you're about, then you can't really go any further in this journey. So that's step one. And it's really not that hard to figure it out. And I have a really fun exercise for you to help you figure it out. An easier way to ask, what are you about, is who are you and what do you love? Now, this doesn't have to be Beachbody specific. It can really be anything in life. And it should be more inclusive than just Beachbody coach. Because if someone's out there looking to get help losing weight and they come across 10 things that just say Beachbody coach, like, how is that going to connect them? Like, you have to give a little bit more of who you are. So who are you? What are the things that you like to do? We're going to do a personal branding experiment. This is going to be part of your homework for after the call, but I'll explain it now and give you an example. What I want you to do is set a timer for 30 minutes, and I want you to grab some coffee or tea or wine or whatever makes you feel relaxed and at ease. And what you're going to do is you're going to create what's called a mood board on Pinterest. I don't know if you guys have ever used Pinterest before, but it's basically just a way to make collages with photos. So you're going to go and you're going to make a new board on Pinterest. You're going to call it mood board. And then you're going to go back to your timeline, your homepage on Pinterest. And you're just going to scroll. And if you don't use Pinterest and you're new and you don't have a homepage, then you're just going to search for images by topics that you're interested in. So workout or fashion or home decor or travel or whatever. And when you see a photo that you like, I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to pin it to your mood board. It needs to be a gut reaction. Just go with your gut. Don't look at the picture and think like, is this me? Is this not me? It doesn't matter. Just go with it. You can like it based on its color, the texture, the font, the word, what the picture is actually of, anything. It doesn't matter what makes you drawn to it. All that matters is that you like it, and you're going to pin it. Then when you're done, after the timer's over, you're going to look at your mood board. You're going to open it to like the collage view on Pinterest, and you're going to look for common themes. This is a branding experiment that like if you hire a team that does branding for your business and you're trying to come up with a brand for your business, a lot of the times they'll make you do experiments like this because they want to know, like, what do you react to? What are you naturally drawn to? So here was mine. This was my pin board for just, half an hour or so of scrolling through my feed. And these are the things that appealed to me. So I know it's kind of small. I don't know if you guys can see. And a little bit blurry as I zoom in. But even without zooming in, there are some common themes, right? You can see some similar colors. You can see some common elements. So some of the things that stuck out to me, which were surprising, where there was a lot of like aqua blues and cool tones. There was a lot of plants and roses and things like that. There was a lot of water and gemstones. There was a lot of movement. There's a lot of like pictures of hair and hair blowing around and hair being messy. And a lot of simple black and white things, black and white font, black and white pictures, and graphic patterns. So that gave me an idea of the things that I'm drawn to when I'm looking at other accounts, at other people, and when I'm looking at things that are inspiring. So that is what you're going to do for your homework. Remember that. Sock it away. We're going to use it in a minute. Number 2, what is your message? And what do I mean when I say what is your message? Because I know you're probably like, I don't know what my message is. And your message is not to help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. That's Beachbody's message, and it's great, but you need your own version of it. So what do I mean when I say your message? I mean, what do you want people to connect with you about? That's exactly what I mean when I say that. And this could be anything that you're into, anything that you want to be into, anything that you like to do, anything that you're passionate about. And it doesn't have to be only coaching. It can be multifaceted. So some possible themes that, are great that I've seen and that I just can think of for coaches in our network is motherhood, yoga, do-it-yourself kind of things like projects or parties or whatever, being young, being older, being a girl boss, being an artist, spirituality or your religion if that is a huge part of your life, humor, being a gym rat, financial stuff, budgeting, financial freedom, personal growth, inspiring things, sisterhood, infertility or some sort of other struggle that you have dealt with and that you overcome in your day-to-day life. Music, your health transformation, being plus size, maybe being really small and trying to be healthy and gain muscle. Any of these things can be possible themes, and they can be ways that people connect with you. Your message is why someone is going to contact you instead of contacting me when they're looking for a coach. It's really, really important. Okay. So to make this really easy to understand, we're going to do a brand study with some well-known coaches. Now, these are old screenshots, so they probably don't have these up anymore. But all I did was I went to their Facebook pages, and I took a picture of whatever their timeline graphic was. So without looking at the words underneath just yet, I want you to just focus on the picture. And I can't see the chat, but I want you guys to go ahead and type in the chat. When you look at this, what kind of vibe do you get? Like, what does it communicate to you? What kind of words? What kind of message? You guys can all see each other's. I don't think I can see it. Let's see. Oh, I can see the chat. There we go. Does anybody have anything? Yeah, tough. Let's just do Amy for a second, then we'll move to Brittany. Definitely tough. I get like maybe like a wanderlusty travel kind of vibe. There's like a picture of a road, a picture of a huge sunflower, fitness, travel. Yep, free spirit, very good. Strong to me is a word maybe that comes. She's got a lot of like muscle pictures, like that's something to me. Great. Now, does this board communicate mother to you? Mom of 5, busy housewife. No, right? That's not the message here. And that's totally cool. Everybody has their own thing. But I want you to see that it's specific. Okay, moving on to this one for a coach named Brittany Leggett. What does this one communicate to you? Bubbly, yeah. Sweet, friendship, absolutely. She's got this picture of all these girls, sisterhood, community. That's huge. If you were someone who felt really lonely and isolated, like you didn't have friends, you would look at this and be like, oh man, I want that. Beauty, love, happy, independent. Yeah, great, 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 great. Beautiful. Those are all exactly right. Okay, moving on. I'm even going to cover the words so you guys can't even cheat. Okay, Miss Melanie Mitro, what does this look like to you? Family, mom travel. Yep, I see much more of kind of like the every girl. Like she's wearing some sports jersey, she's got some friends with her, she's got a picture with her husband, but they're in a cool travel location. Soccer mom's a great way of saying it. Yeah, she's got her boys, but she still looks cute. Like it's definitely, there's definitely that vibe of family, but of a mom who's kind of put together that has her own things going on too. Okay, lastly, Morgan Rieger. Now this one I wanted to include because I wanted to show you that it doesn't always have to be a collage to share a message with someone. Like I think Morgan's is a very strong message even though it's really simple. What do you guys get when you fierce? Independent, absolutely. Yep, pretty, happy girl, strong. Girl boss. Yeah. So she's got this like bold red color, which is like totally signifying and sending the message of confidence. She doesn't have pictures up with kids or spouses or other people. It's definitely all about her being like independent and strong, but she's still kind of got like this relaxed, nice, friendly kind of look. And she's got this great quote that's about, you know, being a giver and strength and good vibes and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. Now I'm going to leave the chat up because I'm still going to ask you more questions. Okay, so let's say you are someone who is struggling with your weight and you have just changed to a new city. You don't know anybody. Maybe you were in a sorority in college and you had all these great girlfriends. Now you don't know anybody, but you really want to lose like 10 or 15 pounds so you can really feel good about yourself again. Which coach would you be the most attracted to just based on their personal branding? Yeah, Brittany or Morgan, right? Oh goodness, I'll wrap up quick. Yeah, absolutely, Brittany or Morgan, because those are the two ones that are kind of girl power. Conversely, if you were a frantic, busy mom that felt like you were constantly covered in like spit up and couldn't find, you know, a breath, Amy Silverman's is probably not going to appeal to you. Brittany's may, Morgan's probably not. You're going to feel like you don't have anything common, but this one will. And that's exactly the point of personal branding, is to have that connection, that way of having someone understand what you're about and feel drawn to you. Okay, lastly, getting your message out there. How do you share it? So there are a few different ways to do it. And as coaches, one of the best ways that we can utilize, because it's free, is social media. Obviously, when you're talking to people in person, that's a great way. But for the most part, we utilize social media. So what I always coach my coaches to do is to start with just one or two platforms and do it based on what you're already naturally gifted at. There's no reason for you to try and dive into everything all at one time. So just pick what you're already good at and start there. So I broke it down, the most common platforms, into if you're naturally inclined with these things, this may be a good one for you. If you're really great at taking photos, if you love taking photos, if you're not that good at it, but you're really passionate about it, but you're maybe not that great at writing and you don't feel that great like live in person or in video, then Instagram may be the best platform for you. If you're not so great at taking pictures, you know, maybe you're kind of average, but you're funny and you love to share and to connect, and you can kind of like write something good and have like a good picture to go with it, then Facebook will be really, really great for you. If you're kind of wordy and you love to write and you just have like a compelling way of telling stories and sharing about your life, and maybe photos are kind of secondary, then blogging could be a really, really great option for you. And lastly, if you're not good at those other things, but when you get in front of video or when you get in front of people where you can just talk, you shine. Like you just have that star quality, that charisma in person, then a YouTube channel could be a really great way for you to share about what you're doing. it doesn't matter what platform you pick at all. Just because a top coach is really successful at this one doesn't mean that it's the only way. Or just because so-and-so on the National Wake Up Call said that this platform rocks doesn't mean it's the best fit for you. The real key is no matter which one you pick, to start there and to be consistent, because it takes time for these things to build up. It takes consistency over time for you to build trust with your following, for you to put out that vibe, and for people to know what you're about. Okay, a little bit of consistency tips. Remember that mood board exercise that I had you guys do? You can draw inspiration from that to kind of help you keep a cohesive style. So I discovered that I had, these kind of graphic black and white things that I liked. I had a lot of nature elements like water and crazy hair and gemstones, which I actually have some on my desk. So all these different elements. And I thought, you know what? That is something I love. That's something that I think is beautiful, and I don't share that right now. Why would I not share that? That's something I could connect with people about. And so I started to incorporate it a little bit more into the stuff I do. The mood board is not it's not rules. It's not only post these things. It's really just meant to open your eyes to maybe sharing a little bit more about stuff that you didn't realize you were really into or that you were really drawn to. Remember your message, those 3 to 5 words or themes that define what you want people to connect with you over. Use those as themes for your posts and rotate your posts, showcasing those different aspects of who you are. So let's say yours was being a mom, DIY, and inspiration. You could use that as that's 3 posts a day, already done for you. You could take a picture of something that you do during your day as a mom, and you could share, whether it's something funny, like your kids did something crazy, or whether it's like a mom hack, like a little tip that could save other moms time that you've discovered. Maybe you found an inspiring quote in your personal development that day. You could just type it up real quick using like any of those apps that you can write on top of pictures with and post it up. Those are things that you can do, and that helps you to connect on that same platform that you want your message to be. Lastly, once you've got those things down, start to really focus on standing out from the rest. Up your photography game a little bit. Really work on think about the things that you say in your writing, and try and send messages that are really good and clear. Remember, quality trumps quantity. We want you to be putting stuff out there. I don't want you to get so hung up that you never post because you're trying to be perfect. But it is good once you get in your groove to really start thinking like, oh, okay, like maybe I could take a little bit more time to write this out and come up with something like that really shares the heart of what I'm doing, instead of just being like, oh, my workout was good today. Like maybe you could really share something you struggled with and overcame. Or maybe you could say like, hey, you know what? If I take another second to stop and move over by the window, my picture is going to be way brighter and way better looking. Like let me just take that 1 extra minute and do that instead. And lastly, don't be a duplicate of your favorites. You can be inspired by other people, coaches, people outside of coaching, but there's really no reason to be a duplicate because they're already that thing. They're already the one that is on top of that hill, basically. And when people are connecting on that message, they're going to go to the person that's authentically that, not the person that's trying to look like that. And if you're similar, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying Amy Silverman can be the only person that's into travel and that Melanie Mitchell can be the only busy mom. We all overlap. We all have our things in common. The thing that is going to help you, though, is when you're really authentically sharing your own message and the things that you're into, because you're really cool and you're really interesting, and you have to give people the chance to get to know you. You can't hide or try and put on a front of being this other coach just because you've seen someone else be successful at that. You have to really focus on who you are. And if you don't think that you have anything of value to share, then my love, you need to start doubling up on your personal development, because you do. And you wouldn't be here if some little teeny part of you didn't think that you could make a difference in somebody else's life. And if you get in that funk, like we all get into, where you're like, I suck, I'm boring, nobody's interested in me, I'm not as pretty as this coach, I'm not as blonde as that coach, I'm not as together as this coach, I don't have enough time as this coach. Like, we all do it. It's okay. Give yourself, a couple minutes or a day to mope, and then pull yourself together, read some extra personal development that day, and say, you know what, I'm not. And that's okay, because I can reach people that all of those people can't. those people can't reach the people that you can connect with when you're really sharing from your own heart, from your own story, because you have an entire lifetime of stuff that you can draw on to inspire other people. Every struggle, even those things I just said, even feeling that way is something that you could share, because other people, I'm sure, out there are struggling with the same thing. Okay, to wrap it up, your call to action from this call is that homework, that mood board homework. So at some point, between now and the end of the weekend, when you get a little extra time, and this is actually kind of fun. If you've never done Pinterest before, it's fun, I promise. You're going to make that mood board and to visualize your style. And then you're going to narrow down your message to those 3 to 5 kind of themes or words that you want to connect with people over for the next 6 months. This can evolve as you change. Mine has evolved. If you go and you scroll back through my Instagram, my style's evolved over the last 2 years. My message has evolved as I have, and that's totally fine, and it will happen, and it's natural. But right now, where you're at for the goals that you want to accomplish in the next 3 to 6 months, what are the things that you want to connect with people on? What is the message you want to broadcast? And then choose just 1 or 2 platforms to work on that are just naturally inclined to the things that you like to do and that you're talented at. And I want you to be really consistent on those. No matter what volume you choose, if you choose Facebook and you say, I'm going to post twice a day on Facebook, make them 2 really good posts and do it every single day. You don't have to post 10 times. You don't have to go crazy. Whatever it is that you decide for yourself, just stick with it and give it enough time to start to really get some traction. That's really the biggest thing. Don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid if something that you like is different from the rest of your team or from the rest of your network. That's actually a really good thing, because it's going to help you to stand out from the rest of the pack when someone goes into Google and types, is Beachbody a scam? They're going to come up with all these coaches, and they're going to have to find somebody that speaks to them, that connects with them, and that's who they're going to reach out to. So if that is you, you're going to get that person because you've been sharing who you really are. I don't know if Jen is down for this, but what I did in my team was I had everybody share their mood boards at a thread in the page, and then I had the other coaches just say what words came to them, because sometimes you can't be objective about your own stuff, you're too emotionally connected to it, or you're just too in your head. But if you share your mood board, odds are everybody else in your team is going to have a really easy time figuring out the themes that you're about